Okay, I'm here with, obviously we've got Brent Moloney here just to talk about our new strip. And before I get on to it, one of the key things we try to get, and Brent's the ideal man because he looks good in the jumper for a start. It's actually a size extra small. He likes getting the nice tight ones on, but he's a mad Demon supporter, and so he understands and grew up very much as a Melbourne man, didn't you? With your heroes being probably Jimmy and who would have been your number one hero growing up?
Oh, Todd Viney, Gary Lyon,
Yeah.
Alan Jakovic.
So you've been sucking up to Todd?
Yeah,
Good. What I've got here, this is actually one of the original jumpers. This is Stewie Spencer's jumper from the 1955-56, which he wore in the Premiership, which has got a great feel about the woolly jumper and all those sorts of things. But there's a lot of the elements that we dragged out of this, which actually form part of the new strip. And you can even see where the old number used to be on the back, number 12, which is now proudly worn by Colin Sylvia. But the new jumper, there's a few elements which are part of it. First of all, we want to get the colour right. We found that over the years the colour had really slipped. It'd gone from this the dark navy. Martin Flanagan described it really well. He called it a navy slightly less severe than black and a blood red. And so that's been the objective, to get that back into the colours. And this is an old faded sort of jumper, but you can tell that it was an old rich woolly dark colour, and it seems to have got that. And also, but bringing in some of the sort of style elements too. The original V of the jumper was sort of far pointier, so we wanted to give that pointier sort of, and we call it a more demonic look about the jumper. But at the same time, we wanted to bring some of the real performance elements into it. And you might just talk a little bit about that, Beam, about some of what the jumper feels like and all those.
Yeah. Obviously, the club worked really closely with New Balance, and the strip is really light and it feels great. The players are really looking forward to wearing it next year, and the boys really like the collar as well.
Do they? Yeah. Well, the collar's a bit of a flashback because the old collars had the flashy thing. So it's trying to give it, a traditional silhouette, but have a modern sort of feel, and cut it so it's a broader sort of look. Importantly, we've also put the emblem on the jumper. We want the jumper itself to tell a story, and everyone understands now we've put a lot of work into the actual emblem to get the story right. But why not have it on the jumper as part of what we are? So then we have, when we present it to young players, or people are buying it, or parents are giving the jumpers to their children, they can actually tell the whole story behind the jumper itself. And the little element we got on the back, which is an interesting one, and not the number 55, we haven't demoted you or anything like that, but these elements, what this is it's a star for each of our premierships, and it's a non-completed circle, and it'll never ever close up, but every single star has a story, and we can talk about this one here, 39, 40, 41, which was the three that we won during war years, which are really tragic, and then coming back and making the 48 was the drawn grand final, and then obviously the six premierships, of which guys like Barras and Bluey Adams, these fellas actually got to play in all of them. So obviously the objective, Brent, turn around, mate, is to win another one, isn't it?
Exactly.
To fill it up in regard to it all. But then we try to bring the whole strip together, even in the socks, mate, with those. We've got the MFC logo and emblem into the sock, been the red legs forever, and that was an important part of the overall look. So really happy with the way it is. New Balance has just done some great work with us, and it's got a really good feel about it. And I reckon, mate, this will be the jumper we'll be wearing for a long period of time, and obviously wearing with a heap of pride. Yeah. All right, well, this is the Clash strip, and there's a couple of things we try to do with the Clash strip, and the first one is to give it a very similar silhouette to what our current jumper is, particularly the prominent things with the red yoke as part of it, or bring the navy. Unfortunately, we do have to introduce a separate colour into our mix. If we just reverse the jumper out, it still doesn't. It's not really a Melbourne jumper anyway, but it also still clashes with some of the clubs, so it doesn't serve its purpose. So what we try to do is come up with a strip which is predominantly white. We'll ask the AFL whether we can wear the navy shorts on most occasions. We think probably that doesn't clash with any or many clubs. In that case, we might have to wear the white shorts from time to time to give it a more Melbourne feel about it. The colours, as it turns out, are in fact the MCC colours. The navy blue, the red and white. So there's an element to that in regard to it all. But also one of the things the jumper will be. We were originally the Invincible Whites. That was our original our name, and so the white comes out as part of that. The interesting thing with the white jumpers is that they're actually quite popular from a merchandise point of view, because people like them for the signature jumpers. You know, they're easy to get signed, and so more and more come out. But we wanted to get away from the cartoon characters on the jumper. We wanted to have what was a traditional looking football jumper, which had, you know, very much reflective of what our traditional looking jumper is, but at the same time, and the players themselves, I know it's easy for us sitting in the crowd saying that, you know, jumpers don't clash or colours don't clash, but on the field you do need to have a point of difference, don't you?
Yeah, definitely when you're playing the teams like Essendon and Fremantle, it helps out a lot when you got that white strip, you know, down the field. So. And
we did actually, and we had our own experiences with that, with obviously the BCNA game, the breast cancer game, where Clint Bartram managed to handball to the umpire, but also one thing which was probably forgotten in that, actually the umpires filled the zone for us as well on that particular day, so that was actually that was handy as well. So this will be the clash strip. Really happy with the look. I know there's people out there who don't like it, and we understand it. It's not my preference either, but we're going to wear it, and we're going to wear it proudly, and it's going to look like a Melbourne jumper. Turn around, mate. So we've got the navy number on the back again with the gold stars. People might want to know what this is. This is actually where the GPS units go in, so it's got to have the modern purpose. Obviously with the Kaspersky logo and the Hankook, so the actual sponsor brands look prominent and on the jumper as well. But it's again got the same sort of, you know, trying to make it look like it's, you know, very much a Melbourne feel about it as a jumper. So it'll look good, look sharp.
Yep.
Looking good,
mate.
Thanks,
mate.
Good on you.
Really,
Thanks, mate. No worries.